All right. So now we're going to get a new caller. Um, let's see. Send me a message if you want to be the next person to call in, and of course, if you've already been in, don't send me a message. All right, got one. Hello there. Hello there. Is your microphone working? Because I cannot hear you. Um. Hmm. Can you hear? I don't know. Okay, this person. Alright. Person who I am currently talking to. I can't hear you. I'm going to end the call now. Just, and hopefully you can get yourself, you can fix the microphone or whatever problem you're having, and we'll get back to you. But for the sake of moving the show along,
Hello?
oh, hey!
There we go.
Just in the nick of time.
Somehow my mic got cut off.
I was about to hit that red button.
Ooh, just in time.
Yeah, literally. How are you?
I'm doing well, aside from that slightly embarrassing thing. How about you?
I'm fine. For everyone who does not know, tell them who you are.
In a past life, I had the embarrassing name of G4 fan, but now I used a much more sensible TCM.
Hey, how are you doing today?
It's weird with Sasuke because I can be fine with the build up a week or two before it happens, but once we get to that 48-hour mark, I just get so antsy and just want the tournament to commence already.
Just just get it over with. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've the past couple of years, I've kind of just been this opposite of just like, oh yeah, it's tomorrow, I'll probably watch it, and then I do, then I can't watch the whole thing live because I have to work. But yeah. It just I don't know.
Fortunately for me.
Yeah.
I was like, fortunately for me, I can watch it all the way through, but that also means that I am unemployed, which is not so great.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. So how trying to think of a good question. Unfortunately, Yamada, depending on who you ask, is will not be shown as far as we know. But we do have 4 other All-Stars who are competing. How do you think they're going to
do? If asked me a few tournaments ago, I'd be more confident. But now, with the way the tournament is, it's a lot harder to judge competitors, especially with 28 and the whole seemingly all-stars not necessarily going out on their sword, but like in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Half of them failed the Akiyama and Shingo failed the spin bridge. Nagano failed the wall, surprisingly. Takeda failed the rolling escargot of all obstacles. So it's
right. Yeah.
In terms of predictions, I don't know. I'm hesitant to predict and think that I'm jinxing them somehow, even though the tournament's already happened.
It's already happened.
Although I would like to see them all do well, that's not realistic. I think Boonpei can reach the wall at best if he's healthy. We know Shingo has what it takes to clear a stage. We know Nagano and Takeda do as well, but in Nagano and Takeda's case, I don't know if their bodies are just starting to quit on them, or if it's more just bad general luck. Probably more Nagano senses his body. With Takeda, it's bad luck, which is a shame because he's my favorite All-Star. So I would, of all the All Stars, I would really like to see him return to form. And and with Nagano, because he's always given a high number. He's 99 in this tournament.
Oh yeah, I mean he's still a draw.
Yeah, he's still a draw no matter what. And I'm also hoping he does well just for ratings' sake, because he's one of those people where if he fails early, then everyone tunes out. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that is true.
And I don't know. In terms of the third stage, not even considering the second stage, I will be surprised if one of them has what it takes to beat the crazy cliffhanger, because that's not an obstacle where you can just power your way through. It's either you have the technique or you don't.
Yeah, that's really interesting about this particular version, because it is definitely the most technique based of the cliffhangers, I feel. Because you can still power through the well, what's it called? The giant cliffhanger. Shit, I'm blanking out. What was the previous version called?
Ultimate
Cliffhanger. Sorry. Oh god.
Yeah, the ultimate. Yeah, that's true. You don't really need technique for the ultimate cliffhanger. You just need to have the strength to hold on for the jumps. That being said, I think that's why I like the crazy cliffhanger the most out of all the cliffhanger ones, because it's something that you actually have to be prepared for. And I know part of Sasuke is the random average Joe showcasing their interesting physical skills. But at the same time, considering how technique-based the course has been the last few times, it's more heartwarming to see a group like the All-Stars being able to beat these obstacles, because it shows that, one, their age is just a number, and two, they still treat the show with some modicum of seriousness.
Yeah, that is very nice. Yeah, it's I guess that's always kind of like the thing about Sasuke, is that ideally you want everyone to do well on the show, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and in terms of looking at the list of competitors and seeing them like, oh, they've done well before, they're going to do well again. You have someone like Yuji who's won the thing twice, yet he's not featured at all with promotional material for the show that much.
Yeah,
like he did the PR event, he has the Another Life page, but he's nowhere to be found in a commercial. He's not in a Navi.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. I mean, the weird thing is that, up until recently, Yamada was just, everyone, he was still super popular, despite, years of poor performances.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because TBS likes his self-imposed drama,
maybe, or
if people, for some reason, have the thought, maybe this is the tournament where it all turns around.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a point where I honestly thought he was going to be able to pass the first stage again, in terms of, recent 20s tournaments, but I've kind of gotten over that hump. How ironic would it be, though, if this was the one and it got cut?
I don't know if I'd be happy that the illusion is kept, or pissed off that he did something to completely ruin it.
That would be interesting. I wonder what he could have done. That would.
My current theory is that he pulled a 13 and asked for a rerun, even though that he had no chance at getting another one, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for TBS and Inui. But I don't know. That's an out there theory, but that's the only theory that I can think of.
It's just a theory. We don't know for sure. All right. Yeah. I guess quick question. Have you been watching A&W this season?
Yes, I've fortunately been able to keep up with it.
Have you been enjoying it?
Yes and no.
Ah,
I agree that it seems edited a little better, although I question the choice of digesting certain people, even though
mm,
that they've had a story, a consistent story at that,
well,
in A&W for a
yeah,
while.
and what you're gonna do? I mean, there's so many people they have running the course these days. There's you know there's some guy running who's they gotta make cuts, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, that's just television. Although I
Yeah,
am extremely proud of the fact that we had three women finally beat the qualifying course.
yeah, that
You know,
that is really great. This has easily been the best female performance this year on A and
mhm.
W, and it's really
um,
nice to see. You know,
it's great. Yeah, it is great to see, and also I'm hoping that that result keeps going in terms of city finals.
that would
Hopefully
be
it's just
interesting.
not a fluke like situation, and that they're able to attempt past the wall.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too spoilery, but I think you're going to see at least one person get past the wall again, who's a woman.
It's good to know.
Just based on advertising that I've seen.
Yeah,
Um. So yeah, it should be like yeah. This is definitely a better edited A&W in my opinion, and I, I guess the only complaint I really have about the qualifier would be the slackline bridge. It's just way too boring to watch from the Venice course.
I agree with that, and also I think, and I just talked about how I like the technique based Sasuke, but I didn't like that obstacle because for A&W, that seems like too much from a technique standpoint.
Hmm.
You know, I don't when I think of someone who is capable of beating all four stages, and this is for Sasuke and American Jewel, I climb really well.
Can you say that last part? You kind of cut out there.
Oh, sorry. I'm saying from a Sasuke and American Ninja Warrior standpoint, when I'm thinking of people who have what it takes to completely beat all the stages that you need to in order to win the entire thing, I don't think, oh, doing a slackline bridge.
Yeah.
So obstacles like that I have trouble accepting it as legitimate obstacles. Although I'm not discounting anyone who can beat it because I know I certainly can't do a slack line, so I'm never gonna have the chance to.
Yeah. It was just very boring to watch. It's too slow because, like,
Yeah,
yeah, most like
that's what I like.
I mean, there's no real time limit, and it would be crazy to try to do it the fast way, realistically.
True, and I also don't like obstacles or at least bridge obstacles where you can't use your hands, which A and
Yeah,
W really likes to do.
yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. I guess it's that whole. I kind of had that same issue back when Kanoichi had the domino bridge. Like it's a cool obstacle, but it kind of takes away, I guess, the reality of failure, so to speak. If it's just like, oh, their hands touched instead of, oh, they fell. It's kind of, get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I get that because we've had a couple of those fails in A and W where someone touched it and it's like, oh, sorry, you gotta go, and it's like, really, that
Yeah,
constitutes failure?
yeah, it's weird, but whatever. I guess it doesn't happen too often, at least as far as the broadcasts are concerned. So I guess that's not too bad. But
I guess.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I would say this is definitely a step forward for A&W so far.
Yeah,
Anyway,
definitely agree with that.
I'm going to cut this off now.
All right,
It's been nice talking to you. I hope you enjoy Sasuke 30.
Sam,
And
you can
yep, and I'll see you whenever I see you again.
say whatever. See you.
Yeah, goodbye.
See you.
All right, that was fun and nice. So I already know who the next person is because I promised them. Just want to make sure that they are ready to talk. But yeah, A and W definitely enjoy more than the previous one. Just simply because of pacing. Like I remember watching the Venice course in A&W 5 and just thinking like man, they haven't improved at all in terms of pacing. But AMW6 definitely an improvement, and I'm enjoying it better. Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Hey. For everyone and watching the stream, tell us who you are.
I'm Philip from SMF.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty tired. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon, but I'm excited for Sasuke 30.
Yeah, everyone's excited for Sasuke 30. People are telling Drew that they're excited for Sasuke 30, I see. And they're talking about MXC for some reason.
Because somebody in the chat room joined as Kenny Blankenship.
Oh, right you are, Ken. Yeah, oh man, MXC. Can we just talk about MXC? Forget Sasuke. I could do a whole stream about MXC. It's the same lot. That's the funny thing is. Oh man, I love Sasuke so much. MXC. Actually, no, it's funny. MXC was kind of a pioneer in that it was like the first true Japanese game show to come over to the US and make people aware of Japanese game shows since YouTube didn't exist yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched MXC in a long time. I watched last time I've watched bits and pieces of it on YouTube since it was aired on Spike, but like I saw MXC long before I ever saw Sasuke. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, like when was it aired? Like 2002, 2003?
I believe it started in 2003.
Yeah.
And it lasted until 2008, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I have all the DVDs that they released. Unfortunately, they never released the last season on DVD, which annoys me. However, the good news is that for this public service announcement, you can watch MXC for free on Hulu.com, assuming that you have access to Hulu, because it's very limited in terms of countries. They have every episode except for 2. They don't have the almost live episode that they did with Tony Hawk and Tara Decatus, I believe it was, in Orlando Studios. That was the one that they actually shot. And the one that they also don't have is the Halloween episode, the Real Monsters versus Product Mascots, because that contains a lot of copyrighted characters, and they couldn't get the rights to broadcast outside of TV.
Interesting. I didn't know that they were on Hulu.
Yes, it was earlier this year they were added. Entire show, except for those 2 episodes.
Interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately that Halloween episode is also not on the DVD, as well as the live episode is also not on the DVD. So there's no legal way to watch either of those 2 episodes without, since Spike doesn't show MXC anymore, unfortunately.
I'm sure they're somewhere on YouTube.
Oh, they are. Don't worry. So I've heard. Anyway, enough MXC chat. Sasuke is soon.
Yep.
How excited are you?
Pretty excited. This will be my 4th live stream, even though I've watched plenty of Sasuke's. Yeah, 4th live stream.
How interested are you in the new obstacles? We got a lumberjack climb in stage 1, and we got a thing called the drum hopper in stage 3, which, according to Sasukepedia, we have no idea what it looks like. That is a direct quote.
I'm rejoicing that they finally took out that stupid rope ladder. I've never been a fan of it. Well, I was a fan at first, but then they overused it, and it just kind of got stale.
You know,
I'm glad that they're finally mixing some things up.
You know what my deal with the rope ladder was? It felt like a much slower obstacle than the rope climb. Like you can do the rope climb fast, but the rope ladder, it felt like there was like almost sort of like a minimum amount of time that it will take you.
Yeah, the only way that you could do it fast is if you grabbed up high, and that's not really.
Yeah, it's definitely a slower paced obstacle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, man, it's been so long since they've changed the final obstacle of stage 1. I'm excited.
It's only the 4th new last obstacle.
That is true. It's it's sort of weird because like the first and the last obstacles of Sasuke feel like they change of stage 1 of Sasuke. I feel like they get changed the least because so many times the first obstacle was the steps, some version of it.
Yeah.
And before that, you had the rapid climb, which was in a bunch of them.
Yeah, barrel climb. And then,
I was thinking rapid descent, which is the same exact obstacle but backwards. That it looks so weird looking back. That like, oh, here's an obstacle, and it's followed by an obstacle that looks exactly like it but mirrored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking, like, just going back really quickly, speaking of like looking back and things seem weird, the weirdest thing about watching Sasuke 1 was that the balance bridge was after the uphill climb. It was so late in the stage. It's like it looked so out of place.
Yeah, such an easy obstacle so late in the stage.
Well, I mean, they didn't know it was the first obstacle. I mean, it was the first time they were doing it.
Yeah. Only like 3 people failed it, even in Sasuke 1.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
I think they made it like legit harder though in later competitions though, because they made that. Then
it just got pathetic.
Yeah, they changed it up. Obviously, the bridge of Blades.
Sasuke 5 through. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Nah, you go ahead.
Sasuke 5 through 7, it just got really pathetically easy, and maybe one person failed through that whole time.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Okay, sorry, I thought I lost you for a second there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I really want to see what this new third stage obstacle is. The drum hopper. Yeah. What could that be?
We've seen a few pictures of it.
We have. Have we seen any clear pictures of it?
It seems like it's like parallel bars, but with your hands, and maybe like jump with them or something. I'm not 100% sure though.
With your hands? Oh, you mean like kind of like a holding yourself up sort of thing, like kind of like this position. I don't know if you can see it.
Kind of like parallel bars.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they're at the height, like, so that your hands could be right there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely look forward to that.
Yeah.
I mean, man, it kind of stinks that Drew can't join the chat with us, because that.
Yeah. I'm so happy that at least one American got to be in Sasuke 30.
Yeah, all he had to do was dominate an international competition.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah, no biggie. Just completely crush the ASEAN Cup. Yeah.
Coming out of nowhere and be like, who's this guy? Was he the guy who broke his knee? Oh, yeah, it was that guy.
The guy that broke his leg.
I mean, it's weird because, like, no one, like, unless they show that clip in the broadcast, which I don't think they're going to do, no one's going to know that he competed before.
Yeah, because he got cut in the Japanese broadcast.
And, you know, and it makes sense. They're not going to show someone breaking their knee on the course in the Japanese broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah. They love injuries on A&W, though.
Oh, yeah, that is so... Oh, man, I remember watching the Dallas episode and being very uncomfortable with some of the injuries that they showed. Especially, who was the girl who, like, dislocated her shoulder on the bridge?
Nika McElroy.
Yeah. Because you could hear her, like, crying in pain, and I'm just like, I'm very uncomfortable listening to this.
Yeah. And then they made you wait longer. Find out next when American Ninja Warrior returns, and then they show it more.
That is the worst.
Like 100 different replays. It's like, come on, we get the point.
That is the. I hate that so much sometimes. I mean, honestly, like nothing will be worse than last year when the guy who just missed failing stage 1. But like,
oh, yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, did he pass? We don't know. Come back after this." And the entire time, I'm just like, "No, he didn't pass because it was like what, half a second? Like that's more than enough time for like the human eye to see. Oh, he was too late."
Yeah.
And so
then like they didn't even do that with Dorian Cedars, and I think he was closer in AW4.
Yeah, that's right. He just missed it.
Yeah, he barely missed it. He Murakami did, and they just said, timeout. But this time, they were like, you cleared.
Like,
just
oh yeah, let's make him, like, really happy, and then cut him down by telling him that he failed.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I'm forgetting his name, but, like, props to him. Like, he handled
Andrew
it.
Lowe's.
Andrew Lowe, okay. There's so many names these days. It's impossible to remember everyone.
There's many competitors.
Yeah,
and
he handled himself really well, though.
Who else were they milking sadness out of? Flip Rodriguez.
Oh yeah. No, they're going to milk Brett Stephenson's failure next year when he comes back. He is basically, whether he wants to or not, he has basically become their Yamada.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously he handled it the best he could. Obviously he was disappointed, which is fair.
Yeah,
but he had like
a fine sport. I'll be back next year. Have a bad season.
He handled it the best he could. But next season they're going to play that clip.
Yeah,
they're going to play the clip of him failing.
Yeah.
I hope he's ready for that.
And I was gonna say, I don't even want to think about how much they're going to show Casey Catanzaro next season, even more so than they have this year.
You know what? To be fair, at least they're saying nice things about her.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing up, like, the time she failed.
Yeah.
So, it's a positive.
Yeah.
I guess really quickly, because, we're already running along with your call, unfortunately. How do you think Drew is going to do in Sasuke 30?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the first stage will be, a breeze for him. He's really good at speed stuff.
As long as he doesn't get careless.
Yeah. I think as long as he gets past his unstable bridge demons, even though this version is much easier.
Easier.
I think he'll do well in stage 2. I don't know about that much about his stage 3 ability besides what's gone on with ASEAN Cup.
I've seen him. Actually, you and I, we've both seen him in person. But obviously that's an isolated incident. That's different situation. But he is capable. We've both seen him.
Yeah, he's definitely capable of clearing stage 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching him run.
Yeah, I said this before. I think it would be funny if somehow he manages to beat all 4 stages and rob A&W of their no American has ever beaten the final stage line. Because then they can't use it anymore.
They probably won't even really mention it. They might mention it as a passing comment. Oh, he won in Japan or something like.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Do they acknowledge it? I think I imagine that's probably the biggest reason why NBC generally doesn't want Americans competing in Japan. Is specifically if someone wins in Japan, they can't show it.
Yeah, they could always just. The most they'd probably do was as a passing comment. So, yeah.
That would be really interesting. Odds are it won't happen, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know there are other people who want to be on the show, so we're going to end it here between you and me.
All right.
It's been
off to bed. See you at 6 a.m.
I'll see you. Thank you.
All right. Yep. My pleasure.
Have a nice night. Alright, that was fun. If you give me a moment, we're going to pause.